What is going on, guys? Fitcho here, and welcome back to the Fitcho Career. It's episode number 15, round 8, race 1, and we're at the Hockenheim Ring in Germany for today's feature race, and it is bucketing down with rain, and to be honest, that makes me quite happy, because I really do like the wet conditions in this game. I seem to be very, very quick in these conditions. I'd happily take a full wet race in today's feature race. I don't know what the weather's going to be like for the actual race, but one-shot qualifying is definitely going to be full wet conditions, so I think we've got a very good chance of getting a pole position. I think if we actually get pole position, it might be our first pole position of the season. That would be pretty cool to get our first pole. It is possible, because I do like this track, and I am good in the wet, so I reckon we're on for a good result, at least in qualifying. I'm not sure about the race, but I think we can definitely get some big points here in Germany. If you haven't seen the last episode, make sure you go check it out. The sprint race at Hungary. It was a crazy race, a crazy finish to that race, a very controversial finish, and now I need to talk about that a little bit, and that incident at the end of the race. Now, in some ways it's my fault, because the car behind, it's my responsibility not to hit the car in front of me, but at the same time, he sort of shut the door and moved under the braking, and the way I see it is, it would have been a small collision, we would have gone off like we did, but if it wasn't for the contact model in this game, he wouldn't have spun back onto the track and taken out so many cars. So I'm just going to go with the racing incident, no further action on this incident, because in some ways I'm to blame, in some ways he's to blame, in some ways the contact model on this game is to blame for the massive pile-up that was caused. But anyway, it's time to jump into qualifying here at the Hockenheim Ring for today's feature race. Here we go, qualifying in Germany for today's feature race in some very treacherous conditions. We head down towards turn number 1, we get through there pretty nicely as we're currently sitting in 3rd place as Delatraz is leading now down towards turn 2. Very difficult to pick out a braking zone for turn 2. We get through there, Orion. The lead is changing many times, and now we take it as we come onto the DRS straight. Of course, we aren't going to get DRS because it is full wet conditions. We are leading. Markelov is our closest challenger right now as you head up towards the hairpin. Very difficult to pick out your braking zone for this corner. We've actually gone a little bit deep, trying not to lock up, but that'll actually give us a much better exit off the corner, assuming we don't get too much wheel spin as we get back up into the lead. Charles Leclerc is second through that right-hander. Keep the foot flat to the floor, is now down to this left-hander. A little bit of a lock-up, but it hasn't been too bad. Now flick the car right, a very tricky right-hander, because it's so easy to run the car wide, and we get on the curb and almost lose it. We do survive, and now into the stadium section, round the right-hander, careful not to track extend too much, and now down to the hairpin as we lock up a little bit. Delatraz, no, Albon is leading out of the hairpin. You really want to use the banking in that hairpin as much as you can. We've had a great exit as we come down towards the penultimate corner, through the penultimate corner, one corner to go here in Germany. Careful not to run wide, which we have done. We've had a horrible run out of the final corner. We're going to come across the line in 2nd place. So Alexander Albon has taken pole here in Germany, and I will be joining him on the front row of the grid, only 29 thousandths of a second off pole, and only 1 thousandths quicker than Louis Delatraz in 3rd place. Joining Delatraz on the 2nd row will be Norman Nasso, with the championship leader Antonio Giovinazzi starting out at 5th place with Artem Markelov alongside him in 6th. I think this is actually one of Markelov's best qualifying performances. So the strategy for today's feature race is the 2-stop, starting on the soft tyres, because of course, although we've qualified in the top 10, we can pick any tyre we want to start on, of course, because qualifying was wet. So normally we would probably have to go for the 3-stop in this case and start on the super softs. We don't have to today, so we're going to take advantage of that, starting on the soft tyres, then swapping to the mediums, and then back onto another set of softs. The 2-stop strategy for today's 34-lap feature race here at the Hungary Ring. And I think this is our highest starting position all season, so hopefully we can get into turn 1 first, get a better start than Alexander Albon, and try and lead this race right from the get-go. We'll see how it goes. Let's jump into it. Here we go, engage the clutch, get the revs up to optimal range, the lights are coming on. And it's lights out, and away we go. The feature race here in Germany is underway. So we have a fair bit of wheel spin off the lines, we head down towards turn number 1. We're going to get our nose out of Albon's insides. There's been some sort of crash behind, I'm not too sure what exactly has happened, but the yellow flags were out, and I saw a Campos, I think it was, facing the wrong way as Oliver Rowland is out of this race, and Sergei Sorokin is also out of this race already. Is this going to cause a safety car? It doesn't seem like it's going to, but there are some 2 big names already out of this race after 1 corner. That is absolutely crazy, but we just need to put that out of our mind and try and catch up to Sorokin's teammate Alexander Albon, who is directly in front of us. We're right on the back of Alexander Albon as we drive through brake ducts and other debris from the first lap crash. We're up the inside of turn 2. He's still on the inside through 3 as we're going side by side onto the DRS straight. Of course, only lap 2. We don't get DRS, but Norman Nato wants a piece of this. He's trying to make it 3 wide as we head up towards the hairpin, and I am sandwiched right in the middle, not where I want to be, as we go into the hairpin. We're going to get squeezed out. Alexander Albon is just driven off the track and made the most of that situation and taken the lead. And we've got a better run out of the corner than Norman Nato. So we managed to hold on to 2nd place. But that was going to be interesting. We were never going to get around that hairpin 3 wide. And Alexander Albon was smart to get off the track and just get in front of us. Otherwise, we were going to have a crash there for sure. We're going to pull to the inside of Alexander Albon down into turn 2 yet again with DRS, but he is still there on our outside. Going to have to give him space through turn 3 as now we come onto the long DRS straight, but we're going to have DRS, so we should be able to get past him, and we do also have the inside line, but we're going to pull right to the inside. I think Norman Nato has come out of nowhere, and the yellow flags are now out. Someone has come off down that long straight. It wasn't any of the 4 of us battling, thankfully. There has been some sort of incident down the DRS straight. I'm not too sure who is off, but we don't mind too much. It's not going to cause a safety car by the looks of things, and we have taken the lead of this race, and Louis Delatraz has gone from 4th to 2nd in all that, and Albon has gone from the lead down to 4th. Here comes Louis Delatraz. He's going to pull to our inside to go up towards the hairpin, and we are on the outside. Can we try and go the long way round? It's not going to work, and he gets that move done. And Louis Delatraz takes the lead here in Germany, but we do have a bit of a run on the Swiss driver. We're going to pull to the inside down into this left-hander. We have a little bit of a slide locking the rear brakes. We make that move stick, and we retake the lead of this feature race. Here comes Louis Delatraz yet again up into the hairpin, and we're going to try to get a better exit than him. Go for a bit of a switchback, but that's not going to work. Around the outside doesn't work, and a switchback doesn't seem to work. But again, we have got a better exit, so we're going to pull to the inside down into this tight left-hander, and we're going to make that move stick. No, we're not. He's still right there as we go through the right-hander, and come on. Now I think we've got that move done for the lead of this feature race, and yes, we have. Oh, Delatraz is going for it up the inside of turn 2. We're going to go right around the outside. We've got the inside for turn 3. We aren't able to hold it up the inside, and we are going to get DRS as we were behind at the detection point. And now we've got the run on Delatraz. We're going to pull to the inside as we head up towards the hairpin. And we've broken a bit too late into the hairpin with the DRS, and we've actually lost out to Albon and Delatraz. We are just going to stay ahead of Norman Nato. A little bit of a mistake there. I was trying to make sure I outbroke him, but I forgot I'm going so much faster because I've had slipstream and DRS. And I've gone a little bit too deep and lost out. Dropped down to 3rd place. That is not what we wanted to do. We're right on the back of Alexander Albon. We've both got DRS, but I've got the run. I'm going to go up the inside of turn number 2, try and squeeze him out, and we make that move stick for 2nd place. Are we close enough to Louis Delatraz though for DRS? No, we are not. He's already broken out of DRS range, and now we've got to deal with Alexander Albon, and we've got nothing to defend with and he makes that move up into second place. We're going to try and get a better exit off this hairpin and possibly have a run around this fast right and into the left-hander. Is this going to work? We are gaining on Albin. We're going to pull to the inside as we head down into the left-hander. He gives us space. We give him space. We're going side by side, and I've got that move done. Back up into second place, but this has just allowed Louis Delatraz to run away with the lead. Now we need to really get our head down, try and catch him, but that's going to be very difficult with Giovinazzi and Alexander Albin right behind us. And I think Giovinazzi has actually just made a move into the stadium section after I think Albin would have got hung out a little bit to dry by myself when I overtook him. Here comes Antonio Giovinazzi, but he's gone to the outside as you head up into the hairpin, try and get the car turned and leave him a little bit of space, which is very, very difficult through such a tight corner. We managed to do so successfully as we're heading side by side. We have the inside line and he backed out of it around the outside, and we hold on to second place for now. Oh, a little bit of a moment there as we're coming through the final sector. We're actually going to come into the pit lane, and so is Louis Delatraz up ahead, and Giovinazzi get the car slowed down. But what's been going on is Delatraz has got past us, and he managed to break away. You will have seen that. He broke away because I was battling with the cars behind, specifically Giovinazzi and Albin. Oh, we've actually been whole. We've lost out to Giovinazzi. Alexander Albin, he has been the big winner out of that pit stop. But Norman Nato was also in the fight, but he was on the super soft tyre, and I think he is actually going for that 3-stop strategy that I talked about and decided not to go for. So I think he's going for that, but me, Albin, Delatraz, and Giovinazzi are all going for that 2-stop strategy, and now we're actually having to fight with Charles Leclerc as we head up towards the hairpin. We've got a better run than him towards the end of the straight, but we're on the outside. We're going to try and stick it right around the outside of Charles Leclerc. We get better traction off the hairpin, but he's still there as we go through the fast right-hander. I think we hold on to the position, and we do, which is actually 7th place at the moment. We've got Seta Kamara and Arudzev up in front of us, and then it's Alexander Albin. So that round of stops has really helped out Alexander Albin and Louis Delatraz, and really hindered me and Giovinazzi, who is actually stuck behind Charles Leclerc right now. Kamara's going for it up the inside of turn 1. That is not really an overtaking opportunity, but it's left Arudzev out to dry, and I've got that position. And now down into turn 2. We're not quite close enough to go for the dive on Kamara, but we are going to get DRS up this long DRS straight. It looks like Leclerc and Giovinazzi have both got through on Arudzev, so he really lost out by Kamara's move. But anyway, we do have the run on Kamara with DRS. We're going to pull to the inside, brake a little bit earlier this time, get the car stopped, get through the hairpin, and we make that move stick for what is 5th place. And we've got Alexander Albin up in front of us, and he's actually gone to the soft tyres, so he must be doing his medium stint right at the end, or doing a different strategy altogether. We're right on the back of Emil Bernstorff, and with DRS we have the run on the inside, but I have broken a little bit late yet again, and he's almost driven us off the track on the exits. There was a little bit of contact. We managed to make that move stick somehow, despite going way too deep, and we're now up into 4th place as we've got Alexander Albin next up on the road, and I think it's Delatraz and Norman Nato out in front. Of course, Nato, I believe, is on an alternate strategy. Here comes Jordan King up our inside with DRS and on a softer compound tyre, and there is not much we can really do to fight back against the Campos. We can try and get a better exit off the hairpin, but that is unlikely. He's got better tyres than we do, and he's made that move stick for 3rd place. We are right on the back of Jordan King. We're going to pull to the inside. We've got DRS as we head down into turn number 2. We've got the inside line. We're going to squeeze him out, and we make that move stick back up into 3rd place. But he's going to have DRS on us as there's a second detection point as we go along this long straight. We're going to pull into his slipstream, but it's not going to be much use. Can we try something right up the inside? It's going to have to be very late and very aggressively get the nose in there, but it is not enough to get third place back as he goes right around the outside and holds on to third place. We do have a little bit of a run. Can we look up the inside there? No, that is not going to work. Oh, King, you're going so damn slow. He was just parked it in the middle of that corner. I haven't got any front wing damage. I'm not sure what he was up to. Just absolutely parked the car. I was trying to get past him, but he did pull off into the pit lane. I think that's why he was going so slowly. But now we have Norman Nato up our inside. And he's actually on medium tires now. He might go to the end. I'm not sure from here, but he's still on our outside. We tried to give him a squeeze, but it didn't quite work. And he also has DRS because of Fuwako, who got past us in that whole ordeal with Jordan King. We're going to go back up the inside of the Frenchman into the hairpin. Can we try and get this move done? No, he's still on our outside, but we got better traction off the hairpin up. Oh, he's sticking his nose up the inside of here. Far out. He's gone from the outside back to the inside, and he's outbroken us around the outside, but we've stuck our nose in there. We're still going side by side through this right-hander. Still side by side as we come up towards the stadium section. We're going to keep trying to go side by side with Norman Nato. He's just pulling ahead of us. We're going to stick our nose back up the inside into the hairpin. He's still there as now I go through the left kink, and he's finally backed out of it, and we eventually make that move stick after about half a lap of going side by side. That was just amazing racing between me and Norman Nato, but it has not done us any good in the long term. The context of this whole race, as Fuwako has got past us and got a long way down the road, and I think all the soft runners, so that I think Delatraz, Albin and Giovinazzi all pitted for the softs, and now they've gone to the mediums. They've all made their stops and will have an undercut on us, and us losing time yet again is going to help them again. Albin and Delatraz are already in front of us, but speaking of Alexander Albin, that's how much he's got an undercut. He's made an extra pit stop than us, and he's actually now just passed us, and so is Norman Nato, who just lost 2 places in one straight. Albin's going for a move on Norman Nato, and that's going to... Oh, Norman Nato's come right across us. We're going to try and go right around the outside, but me and Nato have DRS. Alexander Albin doesn't. Nato pulls out on Albin. I pull out on the pair of them. We head up into the hairpin. We're right on the inside of very tight lines to try and give Nato some room right around the outside, and he's held it right around the outside. We're now heading side by side down into this right kink, and now he's backed out of it. We've made that move stick. A double overtake back up into third place. Here goes Norman Nato up our inside, and Alexander Albin both with DRS. And we're going to try and go around the outside of Albin, possibly Nato. We can't go around the outside of Nato. We go right around the outside of Alexander Albin, and we only lose 1 place in that straight, which it could have been a lot worse. We're now down into 4th place. We've got Norman Nato just up ahead of us, and we are going to be coming into the pits at the end of this lap, I believe. End of lap 24, and we're coming into the pit lane for our second and final stop of today's feature race. We're going to be getting rid of these medium tyres and going on to a set of fresh soft tyres and going to the end just like Fuwako has done right in front of us. But that middle stint actually proved to be very, very costly, as we weren't that quick. We got involved in a few battles, and you can see Alexander Albin, who went soft and was already onto the mediums going to the end. He'd already caught up to us before we made this final stop, and that's the power of the undercut by putting that soft stint before the medium stint. That being said, though, they are now on worn softs, and we are on fresh worn mediums, I should say, and we are now on fresh softs, so he should be a fair bit quicker, as the yellow flags are out up ahead. I'm not too sure what's happened, but we're back to green flag. Here comes Norman Nato up our outside. We go to the inside to try and defend up into the hairpin. We're going to try and squeeze him out, and we hold on to 6th place for now, but as you can see, Jordan King and Antonio Giovinazzi are just up ahead, and they are fighting, and they are both on old mediums, or they're on fresh softs, or medium softs, let's say, and right behind is Norman Nato, who's actually on fresh super softs. So he's going to be the quickest of the 4. I'm going to be the next quickest. And then King and Giovinazzi, the 2 slowest. And it's the opposite order to how we are running on track. Oh, we've gone way too deep into the hairpin. I'm too busy commentating. We go right around the outside. He's still there as we go into the penultimate corner. We hold on to the position. Oh, that was a little bit of a mistake there right at the end of the lap. But we hold on to 6th place for now. But we really want Nato just to sod off so we can try and catch up to King and Giovinazzi, because they should be pretty easy to pass, considering, oh, Nato's given us a little bit of a hit down into turn 2, but what I'm trying to say is they shouldn't be too difficult to pass, considering they're on very old tyres. Here goes Norman Nato. We're running side by side onto the DRS straight. Now he gets DRS. He's going to pull right past us, and there's really not too much we can do other than try a dive bomb up the inside, which we are going to try. We're going to go for it right up the inside of the hairpin. He's still on our outside. No, he's not. We hold on to 6th place. We make that dive bomb work as the 2 in front are battling still. They've exchanged places yet again as King got past Giovinazzi. Oh, that's a big slide on the curbs. And we've lost out to Norman Nato. It just touched the curb and the car just went on us. No chance of saving that. A little simple mistake, just touching the curb. And we're gone just like that. That is not what we want. Now we're down to 7th place. We'll try our best to get back up to the back of Norman Nato and maybe try and stick ourselves to his rear wing pretty much and try and use him to catch up to the pair up ahead. But we've got Charles Leclerc now to worry about right behind us. We're right on the back of Norman Nato. We're going to go for it up his inside into turn number 2. We're going to squeeze him out and make that move stick. 4th place, and this is the very last lap, and we're not going to be close enough to catch up to King and Giovinazzi, who are still battling. But here comes Norman Nato up our outside, and so does Charles Leclerc, I should say, is now going to go back up the inside very late under the brakes, squeeze him out as much as we can. We get a lot of wheel spin, a bit of a slide on the exit. We make that move stick nonetheless, as Leclerc is now going for it on Norman Nato, and hopefully those 2 battling will allow me just to get away the final stages of this race, this last lap. We've only got a handful of corners to go, and those 2 are still going side by side as Louis Delatraz wins here in Germany, and we're going to come home in 6th place as those 2 are still battling it out right behind us. We don't have to worry about them whatsoever. Unfortunately, we weren't able to try and catch up to Jordan King and Antonio Giovinazzi. It looks like Giovinazzi has got the better in that battle, which is not what we want, considering he is our main championship rival and is currently leading the championship and will probably extend his championship lead, unfortunately. But we've crossed the line in 6th place, a pretty reasonable result and some decent points, but not quite what we wanted, considering where the championship leader and our main rival right now actually finished 2 places in front of us, so he'll actually extend his lead, disappointingly. So Louis Delatraz has won the feature race here in Germany from Alexander Albon and Antonio Fuoco. Just off the podium is our championship rival and the championship leader, Antonio Giovinazzi. In 5th place is Jordan King, myself in 6th. Charles Leclerc came home in 7th, so he got the upper hand on Norman Nato in that last lap battle. Emil Bernstorff came home 9th, his 2nd point scoring finish of the season, and quite a vital one, I believe, as I think this 2 points will actually push Arden above Carlin in the team's championship and that sort of battle for the wooden spoon. So some very important points for the Arden team. And the last place in the points, rounding out the points, is Sergio Seta Camara in his MP Motorsport car. Just outside the points, we have Igor Arudzev in 11th, Felix Sorellis in 12th, Rafael Marcello 13th, Nobuharu Matsushita 14th, Luca Giotto 15th, Jean Galayo, my teammate, in 16th, Artem Marklov 17th, Gustav Malia 18th, Nicholas Latifi 19th, and 20th was Nick de Vries, the last of the finishers. And Sergei Sorokin and Oliver Rowland did not finish the race as they were taken out in some collision and at the very first corner, I believe, on the exit of the first corner. So after the feature race here in Germany, Antonio Giovinazzi has extended his lead in the championship to 11 points over myself. Giovinazzi is sitting on 129 points, while I sit in second with 118. In third place is Louis Delatraz, who has jumped up many places after his race win in today's feature race. However, he has a slim margin over Raffaele Marcello right behind him, 2 points to be exact, and only 3 points back off Marcello is Oliver Rowland, who has a 2-point advantage over Norman Nato. So from 3rd to 6th, those 4 drivers are all very close in the championship. And you can also include Giotto and Charles Leclerc in 7th and 8th in that, because Giotto is 5 points off Nato and only 3 points in front of Charles Leclerc. Then after those top 8, there is a bit of a jump back to Antonio Fuoco, who is about 19 points off his teammate Charles Leclerc, and Alexander Albon, with his strong performance today, has jumped all the way up into the top 10, and that rounds out the top 10 in the drivers' standings. So in the team's championships, things are getting really tight right now, as Racing Engineering and Campos are tied for the lead with 158 points apiece, and Prima Racing is in third, only 1 point off the leading duo. In fourth place is MP Motorsport with 148 points. They hold a 1-point lead over Dams in fifth, with Russian Time and Rapax actually tied for points for sixth place with 125 points apiece. In eighth place is ART Grand Prix with 119 points, and Trident are only 1 point behind them in ninth place. And now the battle for the bottom of the table. There has been a little bit of a change up with Arden scoring 2 important points today, bumping them above Carlin up into 9 points, with Carlin only on 8, and that rounds out the field. So that is all for today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. That was a crazy race, action throughout, some brilliant racing, but things just didn't quite go as planned for us. Got into a lot of battles, and that actually hindered us in the long run, especially in that middle stint. That's how racing goes sometimes. I did really enjoy the race, however, but unfortunately we are losing a little bit of ground to Antonio Giovinazzi, but hopefully we can try and catch that back up in tomorrow's sprint race. I think we can. In qualifying, I know that was wet, but we definitely showed we had pace. And I think we can possibly get some more points than Giovinazzi and try and close that gap up a little bit. But that is all for today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Fitcho, and I'll see you all next time.